Hello, guys. Welcome to the new episode of Study Abroad podcast. Today, we are having an alumni of Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim University, Mr. Nawaz Anjum Siddiqui. Let's connect and dive into IGU's culture. Let's know what is the major difference between Indian education system and Turkish education system, and many more things. Hello, Nawaz bhai.
Hello,
How are you doing?
I am doing very well, thank you. How are you, Ujjwal?
I'm good. I'm good. So, Nawaz bhai, can you tell us about yourself and what you have studied in Istanbul University?
I completed my MBA, Masters in Business Administration and General Management from Istanbul. Before that, I completed my bachelor's here in India. And I also have a PG diploma in Business Innovation and Entrepreneurship. Now I'm working and trying to implement things at the workplace, implement things which I've learned during my MBA and during my other studies.
Okay. You have studied from Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim University, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. So, why did you choose Istanbul and Istanbul Sabahattin Zaim University for your higher studies?
To be honest, the primary reason was that it was extremely affordable as compared to India. Even if you compare it with India, it was affordable. So that was my primary reason for selecting Istanbul as my ultimate destination. Apart from that, I think we all know that Istanbul is extremely diversified. There are various other cultures, and I think many of the cultures that they resemble towards India as well in some aspects. So that was another point for me. Third, it has this ECTS system, if you know, that's a European credit system, and they follow the same. So you're getting the same kind of education that you have in Europe. You can get the same in Istanbul as well. So yes, that was my primary. There were some reasons apart from that as well, but then they were not primary, they were secondary.
Okay.
So I think I would just keep it down to all the primary reasons that I've listed.
Oh, okay. And why particularly IGU?
Because ISU has so many faculties from different parts of the world. I explored other universities as well, but they had only Turkish teachers, and I think that was something that influenced my decision of going towards ISU. One of my teacher was an American, and the other one was Qatari, and the third one was Turkish, and we had one from Africa as well. So I think I used to get a lot of in-depth reviews of how things looks like out there in the business world. So that was, I think, my absolute reason for going towards ISU. We do have other universities as well, but then they were quite expensive, and also I think they don't have such diversified faculty.
So, Nawaz bhai, you have mentioned about the budget thing here. So can you give us a gist about the average budget studying in Istanbul?
Sure. The average budget would be around 5 to 7 lakhs for an entire master's program. They don't have they won't be charging you annual fees as well. It's the entire master's program that you can get for under 7 lakhs. Also, that depends on university to university. And apart from that, most of the students, they are interested in finding out how expensive is Istanbul in case of living. So I would say it's very similar to that of India. You can find a shared room in 15,000 INR, and apart from that, the food is on the cheaper side as well.
Okay. So, Nawaz, what according to you are the main reasons people are opting study abroad nowadays?
I would say the first reason would be better career opportunities. Obviously, many students they're aware that they would get many better career opportunities when they travel outside. Plus, they have a higher salaries as compared to India. Though the countries are expensive as well, but then even then, if we compare it towards that side, I would still say that the salaries are much better as compared to India. And second reason, I would say that it could be quality of life. Yes, most of the students, they do prefer that they have a quality life there. Obviously, they have a very well managed infrastructure, health standards. They have just excellent health standards. Apart from that, I've met many students when I was an international student. I've met many students who were focusing only on permanent residencies. Many students, they do take this pathway of studies as an ultimate route to their permanent residencies. Uh, these three reasons are, I think, most of the students, they look towards it.
Okay. So, like, according to this, uh, one who is graduated from a Oxford University, you can say, and a one who is IIM graduate.
Right.
Okay. So, according to this, Oxford one will receive higher CTC
Right.
in comparison to IIM ones.
Right.
Right.
Right. Yes. And the reason behind it, let's assume that you were an Oxford graduate and you're looking for job opportunities in UK. So obviously they would be considering someone from their college. They won't be considering IIM initially, but then if you have excellent skills and something that is remarkable in your profile, then they might be considering you as well. But most of the companies, they only prefer someone who has graduated from something within their boundaries.
Okay. Okay. So coming back to the campus, okay, what is the campus like in terms of facilities and the student life?
Especially, I've seen this in Istanbul. I'm sure that many other countries follow the same. They make their campuses very exciting, and it's not that like you will be bored out there and you just
Exciting
want
as in?
exciting as in they have so many facilities. They have my university has a full-sized football ground, and they have so many basketball courts accessible towards each of the campuses that they have. It's not like that you have to travel a lot just to go there and enjoy. Plus they have very accessible sports equipment that you can just right away get it from the university. You don't have to bring it from your own from your home. So that, I think, they make their campuses very enjoyable and exciting. Plus they ensure that the campuses are lush green. So and they have many exciting cafes as well within the campus area. It's not like that you have to travel outside. Plus I think they make the libraries exciting as well. They have these huge screens as well, not inside the library but outside, where they will be playing some kind of it could be a presentation, it could be something that is it could be a podcast as well. So, and their libraries are of course it's completely insulated, so there's no disturbance as well. And they have all, I mean, it's just they have all the facilities that you could think of.
Okay. So, what is your go-to sport? Like, you can go with it anytime.
It's obviously cricket. I'm an Indian. It's definitely going to be cricket. But then in Istanbul, they don't play cricket. They're usually just 2-3 teams that play cricket in the entire Turkey region. But they're very fond of football.
Okay.
So that was an added advantage, that I used to play football in Turkey. And I learned football there.
Okay.
In Turkey.
So what's your position in football ground? What do you like? Are you a defender?
Because I was a noob in football, so I used to be a defender.
Okay. So how vibrant was the student community, and were there any opportunity for cultural exchange there?
They used to have an international day at every year, where different people from different countries, they used to share their food, used to share what their culture looks like, and they used to dance, they used to play local music. So I think when I went there for the first time in the international day, it was an exciting journey. I explored so many kinds of food, and I saw local dance as well. And overall it was very lovely. And I think they often do it, they also do it monthly as well, but then they have this huge international day once a year. And these cultural program exchange, they always do that. They also have this language exchange day as well. It used to happen once a month. So all the people from different nationalities, they used to come together and make each other learn their local language.
That's interesting.
Right? Yes.
Okay. So, where did you stay during your time?
I stayed in a private apartment, and to be very honest, I think I did a mistake in staying in a private apartment, because I think there are housing that are specifically made for students, which is also called PBSAs, and most of the students, I think, people who are watching me here, I would suggest them to go for PBSAs, because you have students all around you.
Yes.
You get to meet a lot of new people, and most of the international students, they focus on making connections, and you'll be right there in between them. That's where you will be getting a lot of connections, and that's how you will meet new people. They're all new there, right? You'll be learning a lot of new things in the PBSA. I stayed in a private apartment. I spent most of my time in cleaning it, obviously, and managing bills. So apart from that, Turkey, they speak Turkish, and that's the reason I used to I used to consume a lot of time in managing my finances. I mean, in finances, I meant to pay the bills because I used to visit the banks and then get it done. And in PBSs, all the amenities are included, and you don't have to go outside to pay your bills as well. And that is something we need to, I think, create awareness about. I wasn't aware that there is a such thing called PBSA. I just went there, and they have this website like OLX we have in India. They have this Sahib in Dain, and I just scrolled it and found out myself an apartment, and I lived there for about a year.
Okay.
Yes.
So, what, according to you, is the biggest learning from studying in abroad that you got?
The biggest learning I got was that now I am very communicative and expressive. Apart from that, I made some really great connections in Turkey, and they are managing their businesses as well now. They're the same age as of me, but then they have progressed further. So, and yes, I think it was a lovely experience overall. And the best thing that I could say that I learned from studying abroad is that I've become expressive and communicative. And even if you're a very skillful person, you have to be communicative.
Exactly.
How would you describe someone that you are talented? It's obviously all comes down towards how your communication skills are. And I think I have excelled at it somehow. I'm sitting here at a podcast. I think before my international journey, it wasn't possible for me at all.
Okay, Nawaz. So, what was your day one experience after landing in Istanbul?
I still remember it very clearly because it was. I used to always travel with my father. Even all the international trips that I did, I was always with my father. So I didn't know what process is. I mean, going through the immigration and then clearing it out and the security. Then you land there at a new destination and what you have to do. So I wasn't aware of that at all. So this was my first trip, I would say, solo trip. And I landed there at Istanbul, and I was just waiting there, and I didn't have any idea what to do. Somehow I managed to get through the immigration. They asked me a few polite questions and I answered them all. And after that, I claimed my baggage. After that, I was extremely nervous on what should I be doing here, because now you're in the country. Obviously, there won't be someone who is going to help you there, right? Taxis, I think, are something that is very in Istanbul especially. They will scam you a lot. So I knew this already when I landed there. But then I didn't know what to do, so I took a taxi. I got scammed as well on the first day, and I stayed in a hotel for 1 to 2 days, and then later on I moved towards my apartment. During my first day at ISU, my university, it was a challenging experience as well, because the security guy wasn't letting me in. because I didn't have any ID, and due to language barrier, I wasn't able to convince him that I am a student here. And even I showed him an acceptance letter. He said, "No, show me your ID." And due to the language barrier, I couldn't do that. But then somehow there was one guy who came there, and he spoke English as well, and he was fluent in Turkish. He helped me out. So it was a challenging experience. I got late for my first class.
Okay. What is the main difference in your pre-study abroad life and post-study abroad life?
I think I have learned a lot of new things. The primary I would say that I've learned self-discipline and self-reliance as well. I can manage myself, manage my daily routine now on my own. And though I tried learning cooking as well, but I couldn't. I don't know why.
Okay, so you tried your level best in
I
cooking.
tried my level best in cooking something, but then I couldn't apart from noodles.
Oh, okay.
And
Instant noodles.
Instant noodles, yes, yeah. And yes, I think I've learned self-discipline. I've learned how to manage my daily routine, how to pay my bills, and how world looks like when you step outside all alone, not with your parents.
Okay, so basically you got a clear picture of the world.
Of the world,
right?
yes. Before that, I used to be all the time. I used to be with my parents, and I didn't know what the world looks like when you step outside all alone. So that is something that I learned there, and also I learned. As I said earlier as well, I became communicative and expressive. That the primary reason for that could be that they have the Turkey, that they have this practical approach of learning. They make you give presentations all day long. So that was something positive that I grabbed from learning and from studying abroad.
Okay, so what, according to you, is the main difference between Indian education system and Istanbul education system?
In India, I've seen that they focus mainly on memorization of the concepts rather than rather than making you implement it somewhere. So when you implement it, you learn it, and that is something that you remember for a very long time. In case if you're not doing it again and again, you'll still remember it for a very long time. And in Turkey, they used to have case studies every week. They used to have presentations every day. They used to have group discussions. They were not focusing anything on memorization of the concepts. They don't believe that you can memorize all the concepts and still remember after a few months or days, right? So that was something a very positive. I found out that the difference between the Indian education system and the Turkish education system, and I've learned a lot this way.
Okay.
I did my bachelor's here, and I used to
In which
memorize
university?
in Al-Falah. It's in Faridabad.
Okay.
I used to memorize the concepts, write it down in the exams, and then finish. After that, I still don't remember the concepts at all. So, and what I've learned during my MBA, I still remember it. And that's the primary reason, because I used to give presentations, used to have group discussions. So, yes,
So
for
you
sure.
got a practical approach to
Yes, for sure. And also you get a diverse culture all sitting right around you. So you get a lot of different opinions on such certain questions.
Okay, so has it ever happened that you felt like leaving your preparation for study abroad? And if yes, what motivated you to continue?
I was preparing for IELTS exam, and most of the universities, they don't require GMAT, GRE these days, apart from the top tier universities. Even the top tier universities, they can accept you without these exams. And I don't think I was preparing enough for these universities, because most of I think these days the universities have become very accessible for the international students. You don't have to take competitive exams to get into them. So I was preparing for IELTS, and then I found out that my university waives it off if you have if your previous education was in English. Then I dropped the idea of taking the exam, and I requested them for a waive off, and they did it.
Oh,
So
that's great.
yes, it was a lovely experience as well. But then that's only for Indian students.
Oh.
They have other nationalities as well, which are only the English speaking ones. Only the India is something that is exclusively added into that list, because they know we speak English really well.
Okay.
Even in Europe, most of the universities, they do offer IELTS waiver.
So, what do you think? Is it really that expensive studying in abroad?
Depends on which country you're looking towards. Many of the countries, they're very expensive. Even the tuition fees are expensive. But then also, if you're looking towards public universities, they're very inexpensive, I would say. Uh, it's just that the living is expensive in many of the countries. It's not just the tuition fees, it's the living.
So, what were some of the biggest challenges you faced as an international student, and how did you overcome them?
I would start with the language barrier that I faced. Obviously, it was an extremely challenging thing for me. And we've learned English, Hindi during our entire childhood. We've learned these languages, and when you go to absolutely new country, and they have this Turkish as their primary language, they don't speak English at all, and you try to learn it. Obviously, I did the same as well, but then I found out that their grammar is absolutely different to that of what we've learned till now. So that was extremely challenging, but I did my best to learn a few basic words. But even then, it was extremely challenging to do daily tasks such as buying groceries. And let's say I bought some groceries, but then the total amount, I'm not sure what is it. I just used to hand over the currency to the guy, and then you do the rest. I am not sure how much is it. So that's the challenges.
Any other thing?
It's obviously when you progress towards learning self-reliance, it's a challenging experience as well. You learn how to wash your dishes. You learn how to do your daily stuff. So that was challenging as well. I mean, for someone who has always been, whose tasks used to do it automatically. I mean, I didn't do anything on my own till now.
Till now.
I mean,
even after coming.
No, I mean till I went to Turkey.
So, what, according to you, are some of the common mistakes that students should avoid while applying to a university, to a study abroad university?
I think the primary mistake that Indian students make is that they take a lot of time in planning. They should be prioritizing applications at the right time. Applying to the universities is crucial. And also, I would personally suggest all the students to apply as soon as the intake opens, because most of the universities, they follow first come first serve basis. And let's assume that you have a university in your mind, but then you are taking a lot of time in planning. You'll get no response from them because they've already completed their quota for this year, for the year. So this is, I think, the major mistake that Indian students make. Secondly, most of the Indian students, they're hesitant to take the IELTS exam. I think it tests your skills, and you should be taking that if your English is not that good, or if you think that you may be lacking in communication skills, because you're traveling to a new country. If that's specifically an English speaking country, then you should test your skills before you go there, because that would help you in getting that opportunities that you're traveling for really quick. Also, I think most of the students, they focus on scholarships, and most of the Indian students, they are relying on their friends' advices rather than focusing on something that aligns perfectly with their agenda or perfectly aligns with their background. So yeah, I think these are some of the mistakes I've seen.
And what are some of the common mistakes that students should avoid while studying in abroad?
The common mistakes is, obviously, you should be creating connections there. I think your primary objective is to create as many connections as possible. Try to be communicative with all the people that are around you, and try to participate in class activities as much as you can. Look for part-time opportunities as well, but then you should probably be focusing only on your studies and not the part-time work. And most of the students I've seen there, they are focusing mainly on permanent residency rather than studies, But then I think it should be stepwise. You just focus on your studies first, create good connections around your area you're living in, and then in the end you get a good job offer after you graduate, and then permanent residency would automatically come if you have a good job offer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So Nawaz bhai, ready for a rapid fire round?
Of course, yes. I was waiting for that.
Okay. So what was your favorite memory at IGU?
Obviously, the international day that I attended. I tried so many foods, danced to the local music, obviously, met new lovely people, and also learned few basic words of different languages.
Okay. So what is your favorite Turkish food?
Obviously, it should be doner.
Doner.
Which
What is it?
It's similar to what shawarma is, if you know.
Oh
Yes, it's a roll. The roll is the best. Doner, I would say.
Doner.
Yes, doner. I cannot say that there's only a specific food that I liked. The Turkish cuisine is excellent, and their sweets are amazing as well, the desserts. And I loved doner, and for the dessert part, I loved baklava. I think many of the people in India are aware of baklava.
Okay. So did you find any Indian food market there?
Yes, there's one South Indian family. They're operating a restaurant in the city center there.
Okay.
And but then I'm still not sure why don't they offer dosa.
Oh.
You cannot find a dosa in the entire Istanbul. I'm still trying to figure out why.
That's surprising.
Yeah, that is surprising. Apart from that, you can get golgappas and aloo tikki and all that.
Okay.
Yes.
So what is your favorite place to grab a meal on campus?
It was obviously the canteen of the university, but then they used to serve only Turkish food and not. I mean, they don't have doner so I used to avoid that.
Okay.
Because they have this bland food, and we Indians are
Yes.
we just love spicy and
food.
salty food. So I used to travel outside the campus and grab a doner from a nearby.
So doner was your go-to food?
My go-to food was always a doner. When I landed there for the first time, and for a week, I only ate doner.
Oh, for a week?
For a week, because I couldn't find anything else. Something that could, satisfy my taste buds.
Okay. One thing you wish you knew before joining IGU?
I think if I knew that they have a specialized course as well, I could have gone for that instead of general management.
And
that is something that.
Why so?
A specialized field is something that most of the companies they look for it rather than general management, because in general management your profession is not streamlined. It's still vast. You can go into anyone, but then you're not specialized. So most of the companies they're hesitant to offer you something.
Exactly. Okay, so library or campus life, where did you spend more time?
Campus life, of course. I was an average student, to be very honest, but then I used to find financial management extremely challenging and extremely tough. So when I had an exam of financial management, I used to sit in library. That was the longest time I spent in the library. I believe it was 3-4 hours, 3-4 hours a day that I spent in the library preparing for my financial management exam.
Okay. One funny moment in your IGU time?
The funny moment I told you initially when I went there for the first time. I had a very challenging time with the security guard. So that was funniest and the challenging.
Oh, okay. And do you know Turkish language? Do you speak?
Yes, I do. I've learned. A1.
Okay.
The levels in Turkish, they're a bit different. So A1 is basic.
Basic. Okay.
I could only learn basic there.
Oh, even that's great. Can you say something to the audience in Turkish language?
Sure. Merhaba, benim adım Nawaz. Hindistanlıyım. Öğrenciyim. Ama şu anda ben çalışıyorum.
Okay, now can you please explain it?
My name is Nawaz. And
so basically you gave your introduction.
My introduction. My name is Nawaz. I'm from India. I was a student. Now I'm working.
Perfect. So Nawaz, one common Turkish phrase you know.
I heard a man saying there, "Damla damla gol ulur," which means all these small efforts that you make today is going to benefit you in the longer run. And in India, it's related to "boond boond se sagar banta hai."
Yes. And it's a very famous saying.
Yes, very very famous. That's why I instantly catched it.
And it's true as well.
Pretty true, yeah.
Thank you, Nawaz. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the information you shared with the students, with the audience. And I hope your journey will inspire many of the students watching us to go abroad and just live your life there, live it to the fullest, make new friends, make new connection that can build your character, your individual character.